Hello. So today we're going to do something I thought I would never do. I think something I vowed I would never do just as a YouTuber. As someone who makes content on the internet, I specifically promised myself I would never react to anything. And today I'm going to break that promise. So the reason I'm doing this is because recently I went home to my mum's for Mother's Day because I'm a good son. What do you want, a medal? Maybe. And when I was there, I found this hard drive that sounds very broken, but yeah, it still turns on, it still works. You have to plug this in. This is a hard drive you have to plug in, and I have some of those now that are like a couple of terabytes. I'm pretty sure this is 500 megabytes. This was only like 2008, so I was like 16, 17. I've also backed up a lot of stuff on there from like school, like my GCSE stuff is on there. Also, mine and Dean's first ever short film that we tried to make that failed is on there. Like, all the exported scenes are on there, all the raw footage is on there. I mean, it's just been a cringy gold mine. But the thing I'm going to talk about today is, as you've read in the title, my incredibly bad acne. And I'm not sure if you'll, and this isn't to brag obviously, but I'm not sure if you can tell from my skin that I used to have really bad acne. I've been really, really lucky. I haven't really come out in much scarring. In certain light, you can see like little dimples and things like that, just where it used to be. Essentially, I am going to look at old photos of myself and react to them. That is what this is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to talk it up into being something else. I'm not going to give it a larger message. I'm reacting to old photos. That is what I'm doing. I'm ashamed, but it's not stopping me. Shame isn't stopping me from doing this. But also as well, I don't know how funny this is going to be, by the way, because I mean, let's just get on with it, and then you'll see what I mean by, like, this is going to make me feel a certain way. My laptop's down here, by the way. That's why I'm looking down. I don't know if you're just like, what is there pictures in his crotch? What's he doing? Okay, this first one, this is a good one to start with. It's not that bad, like, because the photo's blurry, but you can see how red my face used to be around here. Also, the hair doesn't get better, by the way. The skin I couldn't do anything about, but the hair was a choice. That's a choice. That was a choice. Okay, here's number 2. Always with the camera in my hand. Always been the same. God, I can just remember when I had acne, I remember looking in the mirror and having the very sort of guttural feeling of wanting to sort of peel my skin off. Like, I wanted to just like scratch it off. The hair was a choice, but to be fair, I mean, I'm making a joke out of it, but to be fair, the reason why I had hair like that is because my forehead was covered with, you know, all sorts of horrible redness and bumps and lumps and all that lovely stuff. So I was hiding as much as I possibly could, whilst also trying to follow a fashion trend. It was a different time. This is probably the worst one. Oh God. I mean, doesn't my face just look different? Don't I just look like a different person? I can tell that's me, but that just feels like a completely different time. Like, my face has changed shape. Wow. I am just sort of taking in and it does give you, I am remembering that sort of, that feeling I had of like being so self-conscious. Okay, I was wrong. That wasn't the worst one. Oh God. You see, it's the thing that bothered me the most when I was a kid, not actually the individual spots themselves. There's one really horrible one there. They used to hurt so much. It was the under the skin stuff. That was the worst. Some of those aren't like physical spots. It's just the redness that is just, yeah. And that was all it was underneath my fringe as well. School is hard anyway. People are, kids are judgmental. I remember as well, because I was in a relationship for a long time, from the age of 13 to 21, actually. There you go, there's a fun fact you might not have known. And I remember once, I remember a couple of times, actually, being told in the street how much better, she could do, or all that sort of stuff. Like, these are all things all memories I have. And there's me at prom with that's Jack and Jamie. I'm sure they won't mind being on this channel at all. I blurred everybody else out because I don't know them anymore, but Jack and Jamie won't mind. These are the 2 guys that I grew up with, like from being 5 or 6 years old up until we left for university. And I went to Jamie's wedding. Jamie's the one on the end. I went to his wedding last year. That was weird because in my head he's always been a kid. He's a kid. When I was a kid, we knew each other, and then I saw him get married, which is arguably one of the most adult things you can do. What my eyes do immediately when I see this picture is compare faces, is just jump between how their skin looks and how my skin looks. And that's definitely an instant reaction because I used to do that exact same thing. I mean, you've seen my reaction throughout this video. Just like whenever I see it, it's just like, oh, no. I'm very, very surprised I don't have scarring like around my face. Like I said, I think in certain lights you can see the sort of the bumps and stuff, but I've not come off bad at all. Here's a story actually. I went to go and get these tablets once. I can't remember what they were called, but they basically dry out your skin, and that's eventually what cured me. But the first time I went to go take them, I had a really awful doctor who told me, I mean, the side effects do include depression. They can mess with your hormones and mess with your mood. That, you know, is low down the list. Like it's not like it's inevitable that you're going to get depression. I was already frigging depressed with how I looked, but she was like, oh, it's serious. You should really consider this because it's a very, you know, it's a possibility that you could want to kill yourself. So I didn't take them the first time, and my skin just got worse and worse and worse, and it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to kill myself, but I'm pretty depressed, so I really need to see if this is the option I have, then I'm going to take them. And they worked. They did work. And now I mean, it's definitely the thing that changed my life the most. Like if I was to look back at what at the timeline of my life and pick a significant moment that changed my life forever, those tablets were definitely them. I guess my point is that, like, if you are struggling with acne, like I said, I can't promise that it gets better, but make sure that you are taking all the best steps that you can to get rid of it, not just all the over-the-counter stuff. Try and seek medical help. So there we are. I just reacted to my first thing on the internet. It makes me think as well, I wonder what I will think of this in another 8 or 9 years. Join me then.